California Governor Gavin Newsom has been open about having dyslexia, publicly discussing his experience with the learning difference over the years. Newsom is seen as a likely Democratic presidential contender. But President Trump, speaking with reporters this week, said Newsom would not be fit for the role, citing Newsom's dyslexia.
Honestly, I'm all for people with learning disabilities, but not for my president. I think a president should not have learning disabilities, okay? And I know it's highly controversial to say such a horrible thing.
Now, we should note, I want you to take a look at this list. Many other notable figures have talked publicly about their dyslexia. Here's just a small handful of them, but they include entrepreneur Richard Branson, Apple founder Steve Jobs, director Steven Spielberg, actor Whoopi Goldberg, and NBA Hall of Famer Magic Johnson. Now, to help us better understand dyslexia and what it really means for people's day-to-day lives and abilities, Rebecca Bush joins me now. She is a licensed dyslexia therapist and author of Dyslexia and Your Newly Diagnosed Child. Rebecca, thank you so much for being with us. Could you explain to our viewers what dyslexia is? I think many people watching may have heard the term and think it may mean writing letters backwards or having trouble reading, but actually it's a little bit more complicated than that. So how does a dyslexic brain work?
Great question. So we know exactly what dyslexia is and isn't, and we have for a really long time. So really what dyslexia is when the reading pathway in the brain is just wired a little differently. So what happens in our brain when we're reading is it's actually this symphony of all these different parts of our brain working together to help us read. We call that the reading pathway. And for somebody with dyslexia, it's just a little bit less efficient for different parts of the brain not working the way we expect them to. That's it. It's just a different wiring in the brain.
So many people are diagnosed as young children. Often it's discovered because a child is struggling with mastering those fundamental academics in school. And for many parents, hearing that diagnosis can be a bit overwhelming. I mean, on one hand, you're relieved to have the diagnosis, but you don't want your child to struggle. But also, you may need to invest in extra resources, and that can be expensive. So what do you tell parents who have just learned that their child is dyslexic?
Exactly like you said, it's actually a good thing. We now have reasons, we now understand why the kid has been struggling. And you know, the great thing about dyslexia is we actually know exactly what to do to help. We can teach 95% of people how to read. We just need to do it. Now, we may not be able to get that through schooling, which is sometimes where private therapists may come in, but we know exactly what we need to do. So if we hit it hard at a young age, we're going to keep them on track, and they're going to be totally fine as they grow and move through school.
It's been wonderful to see how many resources are available now for students and teachers and schools to help children with dyslexia. But what about the work outside the classroom? How can parents help with the emotional component to understanding dyslexia? For many kids, before they're diagnosed, their confidence is waning because they've been struggling to learn something that seems like it comes so easy to other kids.
Yeah, and that's actually where a diagnosis can be really helpful for the child or for the individual as well. They understand, hey, this is why it's so hard. It's just that my brain's works a little differently. So helping them understand what that is, talking about dyslexia in a kid-friendly way, and just walking that emotional journey. Be their parent, be their emotional rock. You know, give them the hug, give them the support when they need, because there are going to be bumps along the road, but there's light at the end of the tunnel, I promise.
Absolutely. And I want to go back to the president's comments there because, you know, science shows actually that people with dyslexia often have extremely high IQs and are extraordinarily advanced, especially when it comes to creativity and really thinking outside the box. Can you explain how that works, the science behind that?
Yes, absolutely. So everyone's brain is different, right? And the thing with dyslexia, it has nothing to do with intelligence. It has nothing to do with how smart you are or how capable you are. It is just that one part of the brain is wired differently. So you still can be incredibly hardworking, incredibly well thought out. And I can promise you, out of all of the individuals with dyslexia that I have worked with, their grit and their determination and their resilience are so much higher because of how much harder they have to work to get the same results as the kids sitting at the desk next to them. So yeah, dyslexia is a gift in so many ways.
Thank goodness for a dyslexic brain when you think of all the amazing innovators and creatives that are dyslexic and what they have given to this world. It truly is a superpower.
Yes.
Rebecca Bush, thank you so much. Great to see you.
Thank you.